Welcome to Techo Guide, the only app designed to help you navigate your college and career journey in the quickest and most affordable way. This podcast is brought to you by EdTechity, dedicated to opening doors to higher education and career opportunities for all.
What's up, everyone? I'm Professor G.
And I'm Counselor Jose.
And welcome to Techo Guide. Today's episode is we're going to talk about how do you enter a California community college. So, Jose, why don't you tell me who can go to college in California?
Good question. Anybody could go to college in California. Anybody who wants to go to college can go and enroll at a California community college.
You know, that's interesting you say that because so many people just don't know that. You know, California community colleges are open access colleges, meaning that anyone can go to college. So if I'm a high school student, can I go to college?
That's right.
So as a high school student,
you can take a class while you're in high school.
Great. What about if I'm 40 years old and I never graduated from high school? Can I go to college?
It doesn't matter. You can come to a California community college.
And I can get started.
And you can get started.
And they're going to accept me.
They will accept you.
You heard it here first. They will accept you because it's an open access institution of higher education. So, with that being said, how do we start?
So it's really simple to start. The first thing to do is you go to that particular college website, and you're going to see on there where it says for new students, you'll see at the front of the website, it'll say apply. And once you click on that, you're going to submit the application. It's called the CCCApply application, which all California community colleges use. You follow those steps in that application. Complete it and submit it. And then after that, you will be assigned a ID number for that particular campus.
And all students get an ID number.
All students get an ID number.
Okay, so once I fill out my application, what happens? You know, I should be getting this ID number, what, within a few hours, within 24 hours, would you say?
Within 24 hours, and sometimes it's quicker. You get it through email. You'll get notified, and it'll give you your ID number, and it'll walk you through other steps. Once you have the ID number, then you can start accessing the system to get going at that particular college.
Okay, great. So if I don't get my ID number, then, you know, I think first step is check your spam folder, right?
That's right.
It might end up in spam.
That's right.
Right? So if you check your spam folder and your ID number is not there, what do you do now? What would you recommend people do then?
So if your ID number is not there, then the next step to do is go to the admissions and records office on campus.
Okay.
And you tell them, hey, I applied yesterday. I haven't received an ID number.
So sometimes it might be a mistake of yours. Sometimes it might be a mistake of the school system. You know, the technology. If you don't get that ID number, you gotta now either visit the admissions and records office. So the lesson I think here is don't wait, right? If that ID number didn't get to you within a day, you need to start, you know, making some phone calls to admissions and records office, getting onto campus to visit the admissions and records office. Sometimes it could be resolved fairly quickly over the phone. Other times there's documentation that's missing that you'll just have to give up. And once you get that done, then you'll get an ID number.
That's correct.
Right? And then you can continue with the rest of the process. So first one is submit that application on the school's website or on CCCApply.org, right? The second thing is secure your ID number. They're going to send it to you via email if they didn't. Check your spam folder and or go to the admissions and records office to get your ID number. So then what's after that? I got my ID number. I believe now you're officially, like, technically almost a student there, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you know, you just don't have classes yet, but that's coming, right? So what's after you get your ID number?
So after you get your ID number, now you can do what they call the online orientation.
Do your orientation. It's like the rules of the game.
That's right.
Okay, they cover a lot of different things from financial aid, right? Registering for classes, showing you how to sign up for classes, right?
It's walking you through the whole system, to how to get going. And it's really teaching you, you're learning like a new language because you're done with high school. Now you're at the college. You need to really familiarize yourself with all this terminology that's going to be new to you, and that's where you're going to learn it.
So after orientation, Now what?
So this is where it may vary depending on the college. So at our campus, you have to see a counselor. Now that you did the orientation, you come see a counselor. And what we're going to do, that first step in meeting with the counselors, we're going to help you identify the classes that you need. We're basically going to help you set up your schedule for the first semester. And then once you meet with the counselor, then we're going to clear you so you can take the next step of then registering for those classes.
You heard it here first. Always see your counselor. Try to make 2 or 3 appointments with that person every semester, especially in the beginning, because in the beginning it's the roughest, right? You're learning, like Jose was saying, you're learning this new environment. And as you learn that environment, later and later, you'll see counselors less and less because you'll know how to survive that environment. So definitely make those initial appointments with the counselor. At Jose's schools, they'll clear you then for registration. At the schools I used to work for, it wasn't required to see a counselor. So there was a lot of people that were lost. That first 2 semesters, there's a lot of people that just don't understand how to get through because they don't see counselors. So again, make your appointments with counselors and make them often. So after your counseling appointment, now what?
Then after that, you're ready to register for the classes.
So register for classes sounds like signing up for classes, because I hear that a lot from students. I got to sign up, right?
That's right.
And that's exactly what that means. It's picking the classes that you're going to start with for that following semester. So, okay, so you registered. Is there more?
Yeah. Once you register, and let's say you selected all your classes, let's say you have 4 or 5, the next step is you have to pay for them.
When we say pay, someone's going to pay. Either you're going to pay or financial aid's going to pay.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And hopefully financial aid pays for everything. If you're doing it all on time and you're on track, you want financial aid to pay for almost all of it if you qualify. If you don't qualify for financial aid, then more than likely you're going to be a California resident. And I say this, with a grain of salt, right? We got to confirm that you're a California resident. If you are a California resident, then the fee is $46 per unit, which is the most affordable system of higher education in the United States. And so again, whether you have to pay or whether you qualify for financial aid, just get started, right? It's time to start gaining those skills necessary to break you into that professional world or refine your professional skills that you may already have.
Now, you do have to do your financial aid forms. And do those ahead of time. Ideally, if you could get those done first, that's great. But if you don't, you can register and then start the process for financial aid.
And so, kind of in a recap, you have a lot of steps. You have the application on CCCApply. That's the first step. Second would be getting your student ID number and securing that, making sure you have that. Now, once you have that ID number, you can do the rest, which is your orientation, which is step 3. Then step 4, seeing a counselor to get some recommendations on where to get started, how to get started, which classes to get started with, and then registering for classes, and then finally either paying for the classes yourself or making sure your financial aid is in order that pays for it. So there's, it's a complicated process, right? There's already 6-7 steps that you have to do, and that's before the first day of school.
That's right. That's right.
Right? So you should start this process at least, I would say 2 months before the semester starts. So let's take an example. If the fall semester starts in August of 2022, you were doing this at the beginning of summer, right? Is getting all your classes done. Now, you can enter college in a fall semester, in a spring semester, or in a summer semester. So
yes,
those are usually the 3 times that you can enter college. So you don't have to wait a whole year. If you missed, you didn't get things in order the first time, that's cool. Within a semester later, which is about 16 weeks later, you'll be able to start the next semester, right? I have plenty of students. Some of them start in fall, some of them start in spring, some of them start in summer. It's really up to you as long as you're doing all these steps that we just talked about on time. We'd like to thank you for the time that you're spending here listening to our stories and really how to start navigating this higher education system to better off yourself, better off your family, and we hope to be a part of that journey with DECO.
Don't hesitate, get started.
Have a good night.
Thank you for tuning into Techo Guide, the app focused on bringing you tools and content to help you make better decisions about school, life, and career. We hope this episode has inspired you to pursue and excel in your own educational and career journey. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share.